There's only one way to make sure she doesn't talk.
No, bad enough's better than murder.
You mean killer?
What the hell do you think I mean?
She back yet?
No. What's the word?
She gets the chop.
Right.
Going somewhere, are we?
If I had any proof, I could demand an investigation, even put a stop to it. As it is, I have no choice but to ask you to accept my resignation.
Hello there and welcome to the video. My name's SerenitySoloREACTS and here we are with SerenitySoloREACTS episode 61. Well, I'm slowly getting ahead of you. This is episode 61, you're on episode 49 next. Well, that made me cry. I hope you enjoyed that. But yes, we have got the most boring character in it at the moment, Angela. I'm not liking her whatsoever so far. I know she's using Karen, but is she going to get a good storyline or something? I hope she can redeem herself, but at the moment I'm not gelling with her whatsoever. Now, Antonio McNally, her storyline could be so much bigger right now. Maybe it does get bigger, I don't know, but she's been thwarted at every turn, having people lagging on her, there's money in danger for lagging on her. Now she's been cut off, her storyline stopped before it even started, basically. I was looking forward to that as well. But anyway, if you're enjoying this and you've subscribed or followed to me so far, thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate it, I honestly do. You're helping me out, you're helping the channel out, you're helping my mental health out. So with that, let's get on with the episode.
How did you find Wentworth, Doctor?
Depressing.
But then,
It was a prison though.
Exactly, I left for good.
I wish you hadn't.
Well, I'm sorry.
They still haven't found a replacement for you.
No, well, that doesn't surprise me.
Why is
Backed him
that?
into a corner.
Because altruism is one thing and self-immolation is quite another.
Oh, aren't you being a little melodramatic?
Yes, I suppose I am.
You wouldn't reconsider, would you?
Is that why you came here today? I mean, is that why you're here?
Yes, of course. Why else did you think?
Well, I thought...
To profess your dying
No,
love, undying love, dying
This
love.
really is unfair, Karen. I mean, you know how I feel about this.
Well, I certainly do now.
Look, don't think I'm unfeeling or that I don't understand your concern.
Of course not.
I have given this a great deal of thought, I promise you.
I'm sure.
Come on, Angela, this is pointless.
But they found her. And now she's as safe as houses. Does that mean something too?
You bet your life, sweetheart. That means my boys found the Buchanan bitch.
Don't get sucked in, old
See,
boy.
Martha just wants to be
All
liked. I
that
like
perfume,
Martha.
nice legs. Believe me, she's as hard as the proverbial. Believe me, ruthless. Stop at nothing to help the downtrodden. All that bullshit nonsense.
Yes, there was perfume and, oh, she certainly is very attractive.
Certainly that. Exceptional for a pinko. Pity that.
What, a loss to our side, you mean?
That too. But I was thinking of the other thing.
The other?
Oh, I mean, you know, she's gay.
That is not the reason why I find her boring, by the way. I just want to point that out. There is a bit of a hiss behind this one. I hope you can't hear it as much.
Morning.
Good morning. The coffee's still hot.
I don't think I'll go to uni today. That is, if you don't mind.
Well, it's not up to me. I'd have thought you'd had enough of people telling you what to do. How are your studies going?
All right, I guess. I think I really only started them to get out of Wentworth. Now I'm out, there doesn't seem much point.
Well, maybe you don't need a degree for the sort of work you're going to be doing. Look, I'm going to an estate agent today. He's found a possible halfway house. Since you're free, why don't you come along? I'll meet you there at 11:30.
Can you go out of it then, Angela, if you get the halfway
wait a
house?
minute, can we afford
Is
a
that your
place yet?
storyline?
Well, if we waited till we could afford it, we'd never get anything done. We just have to make the best with what we've got.
I don't know whether I'm too good at that.
Well, you don't know until you try.
I have tried. I didn't do very well with Greg, did I?
Oh. Is that the problem? Look, you can't get put off by one knockback. I've had so many doors slammed in my face, it's a wonder I haven't got a flat nose. That's no reason to give up. Just keep plugging away. We'll get through to him.
I wouldn't be so sure. Not as long as Meg Jackson's got her claws into him. There's no way she wants him to mix business with pleasure. She's not going to let him back into that prison.
It's up to her. It's up to Greg. She's going to do something. She's going to off Meg to get Greg back into... Well, he's here. If she's done something, that'll bloody quick.
Morning, Doc. Thought you'd had enough of this place.
So did I.
Come in. Oh, Dr. Miller. I was surprised to receive your phone call this morning. It sounded urgent.
Oh, not exactly.
Oh, please sit down. Could I get you anything? Tea? Coffee?
No, thank you.
Did Karen win?
Have you found a new doctor yet?
No, not yet. You know what these things are like. It'll probably take
Or
months.
is it to supplement his
under the right
practice?
circumstances, I'd be willing to offer my services again.
Are you sure?
Well, why not?
Well, you seemed so adamant about leaving.
Well, things didn't exactly work out as I planned. Some of the patients are a bit slow in paying.
What happens when they do start paying? Do you walk out again?
Look, if you don't want my help, then...
Not at all.
It's only there though
Even in
until
the
she
short
finds somebody
term, it
else.
would be most welcome. When could you start?
Well, straight away. I would have to restrict my visits to a couple of days a week, and it would be on the understanding that you keep looking for a permanent replacement.
That won't be my responsibility.
No, Meg told me you'd resigned. Do you
Oh,
have
yeah, I
anything
forgot.
definite to do?
Oh, I'm sure I'll find something in time. Having been tied to this place for so long, I'm rather looking forward to the rest.
Well, you certainly earned it. Do any of the women need to see me?
I don't think so. Oh, you could take a look at Doreen. I'm not sure her stay in a psychiatric hospital did her any good. I'd be interested to hear your opinion.
She seems a bit better now.
Anybody got a life? Doreen,
Thought Martha always lit your fags.
she's resting.
I think
Bonnie
she
gave her a
fell
real
from
thump in the
grace.
stomach.
Oh, yeah, that's because she's so stupid she can't keep out of her own way.
She was too slow, that's all.
Well, I could have done it.
Yes? Well, you might get your chance to find out soon.
Yeah, well, I'll be ready.
You shouldn't do nothing for her.
Why not? You were pretty keen when there was some grog in it.
Yeah, well, that didn't last long. She might have plenty of pull on the outside, but she's not doing much for herself in here.
Well, she's doing better than you. Besides, you've got to stick with those who are in charge. It's no good on your own.
Who says she's in charge? We'll be out of solitary soon.
Lizzie.
Why do
quit
they
gossiping.
think?
Get on with your work.
Why do they think she's still a bit screwy? Seems fine to me.
On your feet, Smith.
Enjoy your holiday, love.
Well, what's the matter? Don't you
The
want to get out
actress,
of
that
here?
is.
I'm sure that could be arranged if we called the BJ back.
I never should have been in here in the first place.
Cause trouble, and what do you expect?
Mrs. Davidson promised me safe conduct. It's the last time I ever believed anything a bloody screw tells me.
Well, you can believe this, Smith. Take one step out of line and you'll end up back in here for another 2 weeks. And don't expect the other women to support you. They've seen through you. They won't be following any of your orders anymore.
We'll see.
Yes, we will. There've been a few changes while you've been locked in here. Now get going. The governor wants to see you.
See, now
Unless,
this
of
is
course, you want to stay here.
what I'm interested to see, her and Tony. I think Tony will relinquish it, like, to begin with, but then she'll demean B until the women ostracise her, basically. See, I'm good at guessing when people are coming in. I'm terrible at guessing when they go out. Even the bloody guards are on a string of the doctors.
Hello, Angela Jeffries,
The
resident.
bungee leg.
Karen. It's Greg. Karen?
If you want to speak to Angela, she's not here.
Actually, it was you I wanted to speak to. Are you free for dinner tonight?
No, I'm busy.
Well, when are you free? We need to talk.
I think you said all you had to say yesterday.
Not exactly.
Well, I did.
Listen to him. You'll find out you've got your own way. So is she going to turn bitchy like Angela? Really? That's not in her nature.
B. Smith.
Show her in.
In here, Smith.
Well, I hope you've learned your lesson. If you cause trouble, you must expect to be punished. Inciting a riot is a very serious offence.
There wouldn't have been a riot if Nolene hadn't started throwing things.
And she wouldn't have started throwing things if you hadn't goaded her into it.
Wasn't
Surely
a
you must
riot.
admit that.
Oh, I'll admit it. After all, I don't want to be accused of lying, do I?
You were promised safe conduct as long as the women were barricaded in the dining room. Nothing was said about afterwards. In any case, Dr. Miller has agreed to come back to Wentworth without any coercion from you or anyone else. The whole episode was a waste of time.
I haven't got anything better to do.
Then you'd better find something. You can't expect the lenient treatment you received in the past to continue.
You call 2 weeks in solitary lenient?
After the trouble you caused? Yes, I do.
Could have been a month.
And if the women hadn't been sensible enough to return to their cells, you would have stayed in there much longer. Take her back to the laundry, Miss Bennett. Keep an eye on her. We don't want any repercussions over what has happened.
Come on, Smith.
See, if she bashes McNally, they're really going to have it in for her.
McNally, put that magazine away and get on with your work.
Didn't anyone tell you it was rude to shout, Vera? Funny, George always said he couldn't stand loud women.
You think you're something, don't you? Well, you should get on with Smith here. She thinks she runs the place as well. No doubt you've heard of Tony McNally, Smith.
What you in for?
Mistaken identity. They say I knocked off some slut who was playing around with my old man.
There was a witness.
But they can't find her. Can they?
G'day, B. We missed you. Get back to work, Lizzie, and that goes for the rest of you.
She's trying to shoot
You
in the
heard me,
hand.
Anderson.
But I thought B was going to work the press.
Seems like she's learned her lesson.
Oh, she just wants to make sure
How you
Tony's in
been
line.
keeping, B?
If you'd have cared, you could have come and asked me.
Oh, the screws wouldn't let us anywhere near you. I'm sorry what happened in the dining room, B. But it was Nolene and money. I'd have stuck by you, but what could I do on me own?
Yeah, I don't blame you, Lizzie. Where's Molly and Nolene now?
Released.
Yeah, well, just as well for them.
Money as well.
Lizzie, Doreen needs some
Oh
more
yeah, we
sheets.
saw the go.
I'm talking to B.
Do as you're told.
Got him slow.
See?
only
I told
yesterday.
you Tony was in charge.
Recorded.
Don't you believe it? B won't take it that easy. There's gonna be trouble.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right. The estate agent's not here yet.
So, this is it.
It's what's known as a renovator's dream.
Looks
Yeah.
more like a renovator's nightmare.
You wait till you see round the back. Any messages?
No. Oh, yeah, Greg Miller rang.
What did he want?
I don't know. I hung up on him.
Why did you do that?
And what did you expect me to do after the way he carried on yesterday?
You can't get him to change his mind if you won't talk to him. Look, if we're going to get this project off the ground, you're going to have to be polite to a lot worse than Greg Miller.
He's going to have to become the halfway house doctor as well.
Sorry I'm late, Angela. Had a bit of bother down in Swan Street. Tenants wouldn't pay their rent. Oh, we haven't met.
Karen,
How do you do?
Hi.
what happened to your tenants?
Well, I had to take out an eviction order against them. What else could I do? Well, shall we take a look inside? Haven't got a front door key. We'll have to go round the back. Great opportunity for a renovator.
See what I mean?
Why the hell wouldn't he have a front door key? The bloody estate agents. Arsehole and Sons. Ale and Pace. Come in October. Shameless plug.
You two make a lovely couple. I wonder how long that's going to last.
Do you think she's trying to make trouble between us?
You know, she's wasting her time.
Glad to hear it. You've got enough trouble keeping the screws in line in here.
You've got enough trouble. I'm looking after number one.
Folding sheets must be a bit of a come down for
She's
you,
scared of getting
Smith.
transferred.
I suppose you thought you were going to be top dog again as soon as you got out. I told you there'd been a few changes.
Looks like the same old pig pen to me, Vera.
McNally's solicitor's here to see her. Oh, do you hear that, McNally? You've got a visitor. I'll take her along. Shall I keep an eye on the others? No, I'm sure they've got a lot to talk about. Leave them to it. Come on, McNally.
Is that safe though?
What do you think of that tone, Bee?
She's got real good connections on the outside.
Yeah? Well, they can't be all that good, can they? Otherwise, she wouldn't be in here.
Why did you take the test now?
Tony, I'd like a word with my client in private, officer.
I'm aware of the rules, Mr. Mancini. We always stick to them in here.
Bitch. Should arrange some leave for her as well.
That won't be necessary. Your trial's set for next week. You'll be out of here soon.
About time to.
Will she though?
What's happened to Glenys?
Oh, we're keeping an eye on her. She's made no attempt to contact the police.
Not yet.
Your husband thinks we should try and buy her off.
He would. Getting bloody soft in his old age.
He just doesn't want any more fuss.
He isn't on trial, is he? There's only one way to make sure she doesn't talk.
No, bad enough's better than murder.
You mean kill her?
What the hell do you think I mean?
Sean isn't going to like it, Tony.
Then he can lump it. I've told you before, Terry. You do as I say, or I get a lawyer who will. Let me out, Miss Bennett, please.
That didn't take long.
Well, it's a nice, simple case, isn't it? No troubles at all.
See, he could smuggle things in his sock. He don't get strip searched. Yum.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? I'm getting Tony's dinner.
I'll get yours, Bee. You sit down.
I'm in no hurry to get poisoned.
Thanks, Doreen.
Is she weighing things up? Is that what she's doing? Seeing how tough a battle it'll be? Oh,
Mind if I sit here?
She saw
Sure.
how Clara
Make room,
went,
Doreen.
and she thinks it's going to go the same. I miss Clara.
Got 'em all jumping, haven't you?
That's right. Didn't you when you were in charge?
Oh, yeah. Bee was real tough.
And she can be again, soon. After I get out.
You reckon you're going to get away with it, do you?
Oh, yes. My lawyer will make sure I do.
Lunch. Oh, how did it go?
Well, he wasn't there. He was out on business.
When will he be back?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I'm not even sure what you want me to say to him.
Why don't you ask him to join the halfway house committee?
Well, if he's not going to work at the prison where he gets paid, he's hardly going to help us.
Why not? People often say yes to things they know will never happen.
I kind of get it, right?
Once we've got him, we can put some pressure on him.
You're an awful fraud.
I am not. If you don't ask him, I will.
Is she going in?
I'm
Angela.
not so sure about that house. It's a bit of a mess.
Oh, that's why it's cheap. I don't think we can do better for the money we can afford, unless we go out into the suburbs. And community reaction isn't going to be as sympathetic out there. What we need is some heavies on the committee. If we want money and help from the government, we've got to have someone from the department on side. Do you think there's anyone at Wentworth who might be sympathetic?
Well, there's Mrs. Jackson, I suppose. And the governor.
Erica. Of course. That would be a feather in our caps, having her on the committee.
Well, to be fair, she's on the governor for what, 2 more weeks?
Oh, Miss Bennett, these are next month's rosters. Would you get them completed, please?
That's the deputy governor's job.
Well, he's not here, is he? I want everything up to date before I leave. Mr. Douglas from the department will be here in a day or so. No doubt he wishes to discuss my resignation.
You can't leave with Mr. Fletcher away. Who'll be in charge?
That will be up to Mr. Douglas.
He's only here for 2 weeks.
How is B. Smith settling back in?
Oh, very quietly. McNally seems to have the upper hand. She's even got Anderson waiting on her hand and foot.
Has she? Bring Doreen to me after she's finished lunch, would you, Miss Bennett?
Right.
Is she just going to try to make McNally's life difficult in the last few days?
Get me some sweets, Doreen. What are you staring at?
I don't know. The label's come off.
Watch it, Smith.
What are you going to do? Get Doreen to thump me?
No.
Maybe I'll get Martha to do.
That loony.
Who's a loony?
You are, if you keep following her around like a lame dog.
Oh, yeah, you're right one to talk. You're so stupid that you had to spend 2 weeks in solitary.
I got stuck in solitary trying to get you a bloody doctor.
Sit down, Doreen. Trouble, girls?
No, Miss Bennett. Everything's fine.
Come on, Anderson. You're going to see the governor.
I didn't do nothing.
Can't you
Then you've
finish
got
your
nothing
dinner
to worry
first?
about, have you?
Oh, it'd be about
She was fighting in the
psychiatric.
dining room with Smith.
I wasn't.
I thought you said
Condition.
everything was quiet.
Oh, I stopped it before it got out of hand.
I see. That will be all, Miss Bennett. Sit down, Doreen. What happened?
Nothing. They just grabbed me, that's all.
Why did she do that?
I don't know.
Doreen, I understand you've been waiting on Tony McNally, fetching meals for
Oh,
her.
maybe not.
Now, we all know these power struggles go on. It's inevitable with so many women locked up together. But I don't want you getting involved.
Well, what else can I do?
Well, you could start thinking about your parole. It's due quite soon.
Really?
Any trouble could just extend the sentence.
We've just got her back. What the
Have you
hell?
thought about what you're going to do when you get outside? Do you have anywhere to stay? Any friends or relatives?
I haven't had no visitors the whole time I've been in here.
Well, you can't be paroled unless you have somewhere to stay. You do want to be paroled?
What's
This is why the
point?
halfway house
I've
girl
been
is
in and out
going.
of places like this since I was a kid. I'll only end up back inside again. Well, it's different for people like you, Mrs. Davidson. But there's nothing on the outside for me.
Hold on. If the halfway house gets up, does that mean they won't go out of it? Because they'll be there.
Dr. Miller.
Greg, it's Karen.
Hello, Karen. What can I do for you?
I wanted to apologize for snapping at you.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I had no right.
No, don't worry about it.
Can I change my mind then about dinner?
Sure. Great. Well, shall I pick you up there? What
What's
time?
Meg going to
Well,
think
I'd
about
like to
this?
meet you somewhere if that's all right. I have to take some books back to the university library, so I thought I could go on from there.
Okay, well, how about the Dorset? That's close and the food's terrific.
It's a bit pricey, isn't it?
You're complaining already.
No, well, 7:30 then.
Okay, fine. See you there.
Bye.
Cup of tea, Gran. Gran?
Well, this is not for B.
Gran. Yes, dear, what is it? Whatever's the matter?
Alex.
I don't know. I was just worried.
Will Mum be back?
Don't you worry about me. I'm just a bit tired, that's all.
You haven't really got over the flu yet, have you?
Oh, nonsense, dear. I'm perfectly all right.
Don't be Jean.
Hello, Judy.
Yep, you're not allowed to go there,
Hello,
love.
Mum. How nice to see you again. Well, she's looking tremendous, isn't she?
Tremendous is the word.
How long is it now? What, about 2 weeks?
Yes, there's no problems at all.
That's terrific.
Sit down, Mrs. Jackson.
What's different?
Not working today?
Night shift.
Oh,
I
no.
don't mind, as long as it doesn't happen too often. Actually, it gives me a chance to do my shopping. Oh, which reminds me. On sale. A real bargain.
Oh, it's great.
She made
Just what
savings
we
again.
needed.
How much do we owe you?
She spent it all on B.
Oh, now that's
No,
very
really, it hardly cost a thing.
Mrs. Jackson, thanks.
Honestly.
I don't believe you, but thank you anyway.
Well, how have you been?
Fine.
Sick.
What?
I'm fine. I've just had
She
a touch
still
of
gets an awful cold and she's getting headaches.
Don't bring her in to
They're
die.
really bad ones, Mrs. Jackson.
Don't want to cry again.
I try to get her to get some more rest, but she won't.
Judy, that's enough.
Well, you ought to see a doctor.
Whatever for?
Just have a checkup, Gran.
Dr. Miller's got his own practice now. It's not far from here. Why don't you go and visit him?
Really, there's nothing wrong with me except old age. Not even Dr. Miller can fix that. Stop complaining, dear, and go and put the kettle on. I'm sure Mrs. Jackson's dying for a cup of tea.
Right.
Don't take any notice of her. She's getting nervous, that's all. And as there's obviously nothing to worry about with the baby, she's taking it out on me. You say Dr. Miller's got his own practice?
Yes.
Hold on.
He's left Wentworth completely.
And we're finding it very difficult to get a replacement.
Didn't Bee escape before
can't say I
Callum's
blame him.
trial?
Must be hard on the girls.
She would have been in
I
for 9
remember
months.
what it was like
back
before
in
he
prison.
came.
But Judith Ann's still pregnant.
I've tried so hard to forget that I was ever in there, and I've had every reason to, but I can't.
Maybe 6 months, possibly.
There are too many memories.
I don't know, the time scale of this show's all over the bloody place. Come on, it's bad enough normal music copyrighted me, but incidental music? Does it a lot on Sons and Daughters. Now we've got Harold Bishop. Think. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I second guessed myself for this.
I just wasn't expecting him so soon. You'd better bring him up. Thank you. Last.
This show is the Neighbours and Home and Away Superstar Special. Hold on, I just realised Monica was Toad Fisher's mum.
Mr. Douglas, to see you, Mrs. Davis.
Neighbours.
How are you, eh?
Very well, thank you.
That took ages.
Thank you, Miss Williams. Could you arrange for some tea or coffee?
Oh, not for me, thank you.
Well, don't bother then. Do sit down, Mr. Douglas.
Oh, come now, Erica. Ted, eh?
Ted.
Now, what's this all about?
My resignation? Let's just say I don't think I am capable of governing Wentworth in the way some people think I should.
Oh, nonsense. You're one of the best people we've got. Now, you're not still fretting about this inquiry, are you? You know, there was nothing personal in that. And things had got a little out of hand.
My resignation has nothing to do with that. Under the circumstances, I don't see what else the department could have done.
Well, then what is the problem? Erica, look, we've known each other for some time now. If there's something worrying you, I want to know what it is.
Whatever I have done, whatever mistakes I have made, I have always tried to do my job with integrity.
Yes, I don't think anyone would question that.
Until recently.
No, I don't understand.
Ted, why has my deputy governor been granted leave when I am so short-staffed?
Well, I thought you recommended it.
I most certainly did not. I passed on his request, expecting it to be refused, which it was. Then suddenly, the decision was reversed.
Well, I'll look into it. Is that all that's worrying you?
No. Have you heard of Antonia McNally?
McNally. Yes, the woman the afternoon press delight in calling the queen of the underworld. On remand for murder, if I remember correctly.
You do.
Does she know Hades?
Unfortunately, her influence seems to extend somewhat further than the underworld.
What are you suggesting?
I would have thought that was rather obvious.
That's a rather serious accusation, Erica. What proof do you have?
None. I know this is going to ruin my whole argument. In fact, nothing really straightforward has been said. It's all been suggestion, innuendo. I could be wrong, but I am quite sure I am not. If I had any proof, I could demand an investigation, even put a stop to it. As it is, I have no choice but to ask you to accept my resignation.
Is he going to accept it because, you know, he's one of the corrupt? Just to get it out?
Hello, Greg.
Karen.
May I take your coat, madame?
Thank you.
Champagne now, monsieur?
Yes, thank you. You look fantastic.
Borrowed feathers. Angela's very generous.
Feathers have nothing to do with it.
I didn't look so great in blue denim, did I? Sorry. Just it always makes me feel self-conscious.
You have no reason to feel self-conscious, especially with an old friend like
well,
me.
You could be the main reason.
Looks very romantic.
Yes, thank you.
Champagne.
Celebration.
What are we celebrating?
Well, a number of things, really.
For instance?
Well, for a start, I saw Erica today. Told her I'd go back to the prison.
Craig!
Only for 2 days a week.
Still, that's something.
And on condition they keep looking for a replacement.
That's absolutely marvellous. I'm so pleased.
I hoped you would be.
Erica, I didn't realise you were still in the building.
Oh, I had a lot of work to get through.
Angela's going to be so uppity about that.
Betty Williams said Mr. Daffers was in today.
Yes. He tried to talk me out of my decision.
I hope he succeeded.
Partially.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, I've agreed to take some leave and reconsider my decision.
Good idea. You
Is
certainly
that being
deserve a
fairness,
holiday.
Deputy? Well,
Oh, I don't know.
overnight until Jim
We're
comes
so
back.
short-staffed here, it doesn't seem right.
Well, it's better than leaving us all together.
I suppose so, but I may never come back.
Wouldn't blame you. How long are you taking?
3 weeks.
Oh, we can certainly manage for that long.
Yes, and Dr. Miller's decision helps enormously.
Greg!
It's a tremendous relief, even though he's only coming back for 2 days a week. I can't tell you what a help it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize, didn't you know?
No, I didn't.
Well, I thought you talked him into it. Well, he did say something about financial difficulties, but how odd. I wonder what made him change his mind.
I've no idea.
I could eat this every day for a year and still not have enough.
Yeah, I've noticed.
It's funny. When I first got out of prison, I was so confused. I had almost no appetite at all. Now I can't seem to stop eating. I'm afraid I'm going to blow up like a balloon.
You're happy then?
I don't know. Yes, I think so. Things weren't as easy as I thought they'd be. But working with Angela's been wonderful, and the free accommodations made a
I'm
big
surprised
difference.
the parole hadn't been stopped.
You weren't paying any board at Mrs. Whitten's, were you?
Yeah, for
That's
moving out of
hardly the
hers.
same thing, Greg. I'll introduce you to Mrs. Whitten one day.
Oh, don't bother. A close friend of your mother's, I can imagine.
Well, Angela's just the opposite. And I really feel at home in that house. You know, she's a wonderful person, very sophisticated and sure of herself, yet thoughtful. Did you see that coat I had on when I came in?
Does he think she's
Well, she let
turned?
me borrow it because she thought it'd make me feel better, and she was right, it did. Even if they did take it off me the minute I came in the door.
Don't get too dependent on her, Karen.
Sorry?
I mean, I've nothing against Angela personally, but I just don't think it's a good idea that you should get too involved with her.
In what way?
The Frankie kind of way.
Has it occurred to you that she might be just using you?
In connection with the halfway house? Yes, probably, but I don't mind. It's an idea I've always wanted to see get off the ground, and I think Angela's the one who could do it. So if I can help, why not?
Yeah, that isn't what I meant exactly.
Well, what then?
I just didn't want to see you getting hurt, that's all.
Why should I get hurt?
Oh, nothing, forget it. I'm just being silly.
Greg, you really are very sweet to worry about me, but I can take care of myself.
Yeah, sure.
Is he going to leave Meg and get off with her?
Thought you'd be in the rec room.
After 2 weeks in solitary, couldn't stand the noise. As a matter of fact, it's getting pretty noisy in here.
You're pretty upset about the women not supporting you over the riot, aren't
Wouldn't you be?
No. They're mindless. Without you there, they'd do anything any idiot told them to.
Yeah, so I've noticed.
I'm trying to be nice. All I'm saying is that there are only two kinds of animal. Followers and leaders. We're both leaders. So we can lead together, or we can work against each other.
Will two top dogs work?
You can't beat me.
No.
Nobody ever has. I'm going to beat this rap, too. When I get out of here, we could be really useful to each other.
Don't mention
I
drugs.
could get you things from outside. And it'd be useful to have a contact in here.
I'm no one's messenger.
You wouldn't have to be. I've got idiots like Martha to do that. An organization as big as mine has got girls coming in and out of here all the time. You could look after them. Make sure they kept out of trouble.
Funny, I thought it was your husband's organization.
So did he. You know what men are. Children.
You don't have to tell me that.
Oh, what do you say? Partners? It'd really get up Vera's nose.
Okay, you're on.
She knows how to win around.
Let's celebrate. These are the last two. The screw's got the rest. However, there's plenty more where these came from. To us.
To us.
Is she going to find out about the other stuff? She won't want to work with her then. There's Mrs. Strange Eyebrows again.
Hi. How did it go?
Great.
How was the food?
Wonderful. In fact, the whole evening was wonderful. But the best news of all is that Greg's decided to go back to the prison.
Congratulations.
Well, well, well. Did he say why?
Knees and perfume.
Have I missed something?
No, it's just a silly joke. Honestly, though, Greg's a very good person. I don't think he did it just to impress me.
What's she going to do if she
I
tries
should think he
kissing
expects
her?
a little something in return.
No, Tina, Greg's not like that. He's very straight.
Aha. Therein, I suspect, lies the motive.
Unlike Angela.
What do you mean?
That's enough, Tina.
You mean you haven't told her?
Told me what?
What does your Dr. Miller think of Angie?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, no, I don't mean nothing. We talked about you, of course, and the PRG. He warned me against getting a bit too involved.
Oh? With whom?
Well, just generally. He thinks that after all that time inside, I must be a bit emotionally vulnerable. Well, I think he's taking the whole thing a bit too seriously.
Oh, you do you? God, you're naive, Karen. He's trying to save you from a fate worse than death, and you don't even know it.
What?
Didn't you say you had to have an early night?
Oh, yes. How true. Night, Karen. Night, old love. Thanks for the dinner.
Lost off. Why?
Would you like a drink?
No, thanks.
Tina's a very intuitive person. She's often right. She's also rather tactless.
What was all that about?
When Greg warned you about getting involved with me, he didn't mean the PRG. He meant me.
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
He was trying to tell you that I'm a homosexual. A lesbian, if you like.
Why is that fate worse than death, though?
I don't keep it a secret. The reason we've never discussed it before, it's not been relevant.
Yeah, just don't tell. Those were the days. About that.
What's it got to do with Greg?
Well, I would say that Dr. Miller has interpreted my interest in you as a prelude to seduction. He hopes by winning your affections to keep you on the straight and narrow, thus protecting you from my perversions. You don't have to stay here if you don't want to, Karen.
Of course I want to stay here. How can you be so devious?
Well, no.
So narrow-minded.
Put your foot down and tell her what your sexuality
Totally
is.
irrational.
Don't lead her along.
Hey, Tony, who's working the press today?
Who cares? G'day, B.
No, hi.
Hi, God.
Gee, it makes you sick.
Is Lizzie going to tell her about the cigs?
What's up with you? Oh, bloody Tony. I nearly get me face pushed in standing up to B for her, and now they're thick as thieves.
Don't worry, love. It's better than having them fighting.
Yeah, well, if they do, they can do it on their own in future. I wouldn't help either of them.
Keep your voice down, they'll hear you.
I don't care.
You don't care? Now, you better be careful. You don't want to get on the wrong side of that McNally woman.
Can you you please pay her off? I still think she's going to turn up in court. Straight in the front, straight out the back. Unless I've got cars watching both sides. Oh, never mind. It's run to a dead end, it's completely fine.
Morning.
Good morning.
I decided to come back. A couple of days a week, that's all.
Yes, Erica told me.
Yeah, it's not much, but best I can do.
Well, is that why? To help out?
Partly, yes. Also, I need the money. I mean, you know what my patients are like at paying.
Yes, I do. But I didn't realize you were so desperate.
Desperate?
Well, the last time you spoke to me, you weren't coming back here under any circumstances.
Why does it make
Impossible dream.
How's Karen? Well, you saw her the other day, didn't you?
Yes. Well, she's fine. What's that got to do with anything?
That's what I'd like to know.
Look, Meg, I know you didn't like the idea, but it's only for a little while, and I do need the money.
You're lying, Greg. Now, look, I don't know why you changed your mind, and I'm not even sure I want to know. But it certainly wasn't for the money.
Meg...
No, not now. You think about it. If you want to talk, give me a ring.
Dump her, Greg. I mean, I like Meg, but the way she's acting, dump her.
She back yet?
No. What's the word?
She gets the chop.
Right. Wait for her inside?
Yeah.
Maybe she's not going to end up in court. Maybe they'll put him inside. Oh, they can't, because Tony's there. We'll say it's witness protection.
Going somewhere, are we? Get the car. Yeah. I reckon we can give you a lift. You're not going to disappoint us, are you, Gladys?
Don't you dare have brought her back to die. Mean it. I've had my fill with Edie.
Did you see the doctor? You promised me you would.
Oh, darling, don't nag.
Gran, look at you. You need a doctor.
Oh, don't exaggerate.
I'm not. Why are you so late? You've been working overtime again, haven't you?
We need the money.
No, we don't.
Is she not pension
Not
age?
that much. Oh, Gran, don't you see? If you keep working this hard, you'll get really sick. And then what will I do? Oh, Gran, I need you. I need you much more than the money.
Oh, don't worry, darling. I'll be all right. Truly.
I've got a god-awful feeling. Now, is it going to become a habit where Lizzie ends up finding dead bodies? Really, she never tried putting up a fight at all. She just completely went willing. Oh, but tied up. Never mind. Really, couldn't have just used a pistol after blow her bloody head off? I hope she uses it on them. She gets it off them somehow. can't get out of it though, she's tied up. She can't grab the gun. For some reason though, I think she's going to get away. She's going to end up in court. I can't shake that feeling. Just like I can't shake the feeling about what's going to happen to Mum. Never seen it, don't spoil it. Maybe she doesn't. I've just got this feeling of dread. Maybe it's an Edie thing. You know, she was coughing and then she died. Mum's got the cough. Maybe a cough kills people in 1979 Australia. I don't know. Yeah, the way Meg's acting, I like her, I do like her. I don't like this, you know, it's me or the job situation. I mean, if she ends up in that situation, will she say she'll leave? Will she walk out and willingly and just not look back? I don't think she will. Mind you, I don't know when she'll get out of it. So, I'm going to get 692 episodes. We're not going to have every OG character at the end. Sign out. Yes, Karen should put her foot down, say, you know, I honestly don't mind what you are. There were plenty of people like that in prison. But I am completely straight, so she needs to let Angela know exactly where she stands so she don't feel strung along and that there's a chance. You know, I can't see Angela turning into Frankie, trying to cop a feel every 2 seconds from anybody. But, you know, she might be very angry if she does feel there's a chance. I mean, one-sided feelings do hurt. I had feelings towards somebody and it wasn't reciprocated. Yeah, it hurts a lot, so I'll be able to understand what Angela's going through with that if that does happen. I still find her boring, not because of who she is, but just because her character's not doing much. If she starts scheming and doing stuff to, you know, get her own way, then yeah, maybe I'll start to warm up to her a little bit. As a character, not as a personality. I don't like the fact Mum's back. I cannot shake the feeling of dread. I know I said this earlier, but I cannot shake the feeling of dread that she's been brought back to die. Now, I've never seen it, don't spoil it, maybe she doesn't. Maybe Judith Ann has the baby and then they walk off into the sunset together. I don't know, but I'm hoping it is that. I'm hoping I'm totally wrong. I'm hoping I can laugh at myself for 30 episodes and say, well, I do get things wrong, ha ha ha. A better episode than it has been lately. I did enjoy that one. I do think she's going to end up in court. I know I keep saying it, but I do. I don't think she'll die, even though I don't know how she'll get out of it, but I don't think she'll die. Unless they were undercover coppers. They are staging her death. Maybe. I've just thought of that. That's quite a good thought. They're staging her death. I know that some real life stings do this. You know, to find hitmen, stuff like that. For people who hire hitmen, should I say, stage deaths and take pictures. Maybe it's that. I don't know. We'll find out. But yes, I enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed it too and you haven't subscribed or followed me so far, could I ask you to do so? It would really, really help me out. At the moment, around 88% of people who watch my content are not subscribed. Mind you, my watch time and impressions have completely gone. Barely anyone's watching my channel anymore, so thank you for those that are. Australians can only see this on Dailymotion, so if you could follow me over there, you'll get all these episodes. I'm trying to catch up on Dailymotion. I've only got a 15GB limit, unfortunately, so I can only upload that much per day. Well, per 24 hours. So that's only like 4 prisoners, I'm afraid. So hopefully we can get around that somehow and slowly catch up for you. I am also trying to get as many of these done as possible. I mean, it'll be 4 days in a row that I will be recording this. 7 or 8 episodes a day, so I'll get quite far in front, hopefully. If you haven't already subscribed or followed to me so far, thank you ever so much. I really do appreciate it, I honestly do. You're helping me out, you're helping my channel out, you're helping my mental health out, you honestly are. So with that, I shall sign out now and move on to the next one, and I hope to see you there. Goodbye.